What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Doc's Daily. It is Thursday, September 11th. We are live and in full effect, 1 o'clock Eastern, here on the YouTube and other places.
On the
Facebook
YouTube,
and
I like
Twitter,
that.
all the YouTube and surrounding areas. I'm joined with Craig Trapp and Robert Ferringo on this wonderful Thursday. Robert looks like this every Thursday and will continue to look like this every Thursday for the remainder of football season. This is what every Robert wears his emotions on his sleeve. We love this about Robert. Okay, we do. We love this about Robert. But he doesn't have to say a word to me to know that it's Thursday and the football picks come out tonight. Okay, he don't have to say nothing. We do video on a Monday. Robert's all like, "Hey, Lenny, what's happening, man? How's it going? How's the kids? How's the fam?" Thursday, it's all business with Robert. He's ready. He's dialed in. He's dialed in. He might not have shaved in 3 days, but it does not matter, folks. Your picks will be to you tonight. Robert, we appreciate you. We love you. Thanks for showing up on a Thursday, brother.
I'll sleep in April, right?
Right.
Sleep in April.
Yeah. After March Madness. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it is craziness for sure. A lot of good content. Robert did a few college football videos for you guys, like 5 yesterday, and there's some good content out there on the YouTube, so make sure you check out some free pick videos that he did. Good job on those as well, by the way. There's already some comments. Abe likes to say, "What's up? Thanks, Craig, for touching reminder. We need more love." Oh, this is true. Yeah, yesterday was a day. It is what it is. We don't get political here.
Dude, yeah, we don't
do better as humans.
Take that down the road, bro.
Hey, here's what I said on my video. I don't ever, in 17 years I've been doing YouTube, never talked politics, ever. I just said yesterday, dude, what are we doing in the world? How about just some love?
I wore my Panda shirt today because it's the most lovable shirt.
Hey, if I can like Ohio State people, and I hate Ohio State, and I sit in the bar stool right next to them, argue with them, and then I buy them a beer, and we sit there and talk and have a great time. If we can do that, we can get over anything else.
Sports does that, though, right? All shapes and sizes and walks of life. You can unite over a sporting event.
People can sit right next to each other. To the person
they hate. Watching different sports,
and I love
them. Like, yeah.
I mean, there's somebody in Germany.
How many people are going to get stabbed in the parking lot? In Vegas, the Raiders-Chargers Monday night game.
Okay, a few shanks are different. That's not a
right. What are we talking about?
I'm just saying.
When they scan through the crowd at a college football game and it's like all Ohio State fans and the one Michigan fan right in the middle, no one's mauling the guy. You know, like, and especially
he's nuts to do that. He's
that's probably the guy you don't want to attack.
But anyways.
Sports is give
everybody a hug unless they're an Ohio State fan. Don't hug those people.
Hey, sports is the greatest equalizer ever. It's like you can be rich, poor, like it doesn't matter, black, white, Asian, white, what doesn't matter. We all love to see our teams play, and that's what we are here for. How about some winners though today, Lenny? I got some lined up today. This is the day for you. Okay.
Listen, now you're just screwing around those other days, Lenny, man.
I was.
Wait, hold on.
Last weekend I screwed around.
Ravens.
Time out. Hold on. Today's the day, right? Okay. you do you, Pikachu, but
ever since the Ravens lost, that was the worst beat I've had maybe ever. Since then, it's been really good. So I guess I just had to get that shitty weekend. It was the worst weekend in NFL ever. Start from my NFL ever in 20 years doing this. But sometimes you just got to get it out of the way. So maybe it's better I got it out of the way. The Ravens, though,
How about those guys that had the Ravens and then had the Bears on Monday night?
Oh, my God. All right. Hold on.
I did not have the Ravens, but I did have the Bears Monday night. And
we got to get Robert's take on the Bears. Like,
yes.
What do you first think half good, second half bad. Which is better? Which team are we going to see going forward?
No, like they didn't slam the door. We've seen this beforehand. That game at one point it probably should have been 27-0. We just saw a lot of mistakes from a new group, like Ben Johnson when it was 7-3 in the second quarter, for instance, on that 4th and 3. Just take the points. Just take the points. At this point, JJ McCarthy was pissing down his leg. Like they hadn't even like crossed half field. Like just take the points, right? Like there were a few times that I was like that. Also, I mean, I'm not the guy that's like, oh, the refs screwed us, but the refs kind of screwed us. Like the biggest play in that game, it was 17-6 early in the fourth quarter. Bears complete a pass. It should have been 1st and 10 from the Minnesota 12. Instead, there's that phantom holding call where the defensive end fell on the ground and the Bears guy just kind of laid on him. Like it wasn't holding, basically. Like it was not a holding call. That completely changed the game because that backed them up, took away a first down. They ended up missing the field goal. That would have put them up 20-6 at that point. Then there was another phantom pass interference on their second touchdown drive. Same thing. The receiver coming out of his break slips and falls, and they called pass interference. So, I mean, there were some mistakes made by Ben Johnson. There were some mistakes made by the refs. There were some missed throws by Caleb Williams. Like all the Caleb Williams hate, again, is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
A very nice pass in the first half on the run there for I think it was
unbelievable, right?
Great, I was like, damn, that looked good.
Right.
I really did say that as a Lions fan. I was like, ooh, that looked
right.
good.
Like if you can't see that this guy can play and that within a few years, like this is what I always say. This is why, like, you don't just start rookie quarterbacks and expect them to be great. Like you have to give them some time. 2 years. Look at Justin Fields on Sunday, right? Look at Justin Fields. Did you watch that game? Like Justin Fields, I was texting friends. I was like, Justin Fields looks like Jesus right now. Like one of my friends texted, he was like, Daniel Jones turned into Indiana Jones. And I was like, well, Justin Fields turned into Jesus. Like maybe, just maybe it takes some time for these guys to figure things out. And it's no different with Caleb Williams. When he gets excited, he puts too much pepper on the ball and he throws lasers. And
more pass.
Yeah, you can see
it.
More
pass at the late in the game. That more pass was like that more pass if he hits him and they score, they could have probably got the ball back to try to tie it late. That was a big miss by him.
Well,
I mean, the clock management. The thing is that like right after that, they got a first down at like the 15. They should have kicked the field goal right away. Like you need a field goal.
I thought that as well.
And a touchdown. Like if they had kicked the field goal, I think there would have been 2 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Yep.
So you would have been able to use a timeout or not use a timeout and make them force two plays. Another thing was about that play, and I didn't know the rule on this. They throw it to TJ Hawkinson, and the Bears linebacker comes over and doesn't touch him while he's on the ground and just punches the ball out. He didn't make contact with the guy. Like the whole time I'm screaming like, that's a fumble. That's a fumble.
Yeah.
He didn't touch him while he was down. Turns out the rule is that the ball is part of a runner or something like that. Well, anyway, we wasted a challenge on that, and that would have made a difference. So it's just
not end up mattering. Yeah.
Well, like JJ McCarthy sucks. Like the takeaway from that was like, oh my God, he's got ice waters in his face. Like he sucks, dude.
You think he's gonna be bad?
What's that?
I don't you think like he might be the best coach in the league. O'Connell's won with everybody. Bad quarterbacks.
Sure,
off of a track heap. I think he's going to be just fine for them. He doesn't have to be great. That's the thing. They're good.
He does not have a long arm. He can't throw the ball accurately past 20 yards.
They really didn't even use his legs, though, until late. That was a great call, by the way.
He is basically like
more defense has tape on that, though, and he's just scrambling for his life. That's not play calling.
He's a rich man's Tim Boyle, dude.
I think he's better than Sam Darnold, though. And that was what they were.
I mean, that's
not Sam Darnold. Well, again,
that was what their option was. It was.
He's not more talented than Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold like actively works against his team's chances of winning by turning the ball, right? Like he's not more talented than him, but. No, JJ McCarthy sucks was part of my take.
Speaking of this week,
hold on. Minnesota play this week?
Atlanta,
yeah.
That's Monday, right? That's one of the Monday night games.
Sunday night game. That could be a good. I think that's a good game.
I think so too.
Numbers coming down though. Drake London is banged up. Darnell Mooney's out. So Atlanta has kind of a cluster injury problem right there. Normally at like 4.5, where this number was right after they won on Monday, I absolutely liked Atlanta. But we saw Atlanta do this last year, remember? In like week 2, they went on the road on Monday Night Football and actually beat Philadelphia. So Atlanta is one of those weird teams that can jump up and beat anybody. They can lose to anybody. How do they respond from their kind of heartbreaking loss where Younghoe misses that chip shot field goal that would have sent them to overtime? So like, where are their heads at? But Michael Penix looked a lot better than JJ McCarthy did. In my estimation. But this is the thing about Minnesota. They have everything but, right? Like they have a top 5 roster. You have position group by position group, defense, coaching. They got the whole package. They just don't have a quarterback. And leaving Monday, that was my bigger takeaway. Forget about the Bears and them choking that game. The Bears are losers. They did what the Bears do. I was not impressed with Minnesota.
That's a Bears fan for you.
Yeah, I understand that. And that 4th down call where he went for it, I think it was like 4th and 3 or whatever. And I remember thinking, ooh, that's some Dan Campbell rubbing off on you there, Ben Johnson. You should take the points.
Yes.
And I'm like, take the points.
We're not there yet.
A rookie quarterback in the first half. Just start stacking them on there. Stack the points. Because
they play their Lions this week, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
That's going to be an interesting game. It's also kind
more
of
Xanax involved in Lenny's life this weekend for sure. I mean,
fascinating that the line moved so much from the Bears losing that game, right? Yeah. Like let's be honest. The Bears dominated over 3/4 of that game. If not for a couple false starts, a couple missed penalties, couple missed field goals. If the Bears win that game 27-10, which is the type of game that was, what is that Lions game this week? Because it's not 6.
No,
it's not 6. Right. That's kind of where it was 3.5, 4. The Bears lose. I wake up Tuesday morning and that number is 6. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Well, I mean, Lenny, what's your take? I haven't talked to you about it. The offensive line issues and the Bears defense is good. Like the Packers defense is good. So that you respect.
Yeah, the Bears front looked good. But it was against Minnesota as well. So I mean, we got 2 new guys in there on offensive line out of the 5. I mean, you got to get those other 3 guys got to step up. It's just going to take time and some more cohesiveness. The best thing I liked about the Lions offensive line the last couple of years is those guys have been playing together for a while. Yeah. You know what I mean? They've been in the trenches for years. And I don't want to say years like that, but a couple years under Dan Campbell. And they knew the mentality. I mean, you got a rookie in there. I mean, first game, whatever. I think I have feelings about this game. Obviously, I'm a homer. It is a home game for the Lions. Their first home game. Ford Field will be turned up, I'm sure, for Ben Johnson. The storyline is written. But the Lions are going to go as far as that offensive line takes them.
But don't you think the offensive play calling was terrible? It was so vanilla.
Yeah, it was not. No,
this is like vanilla pudding.
They were never on. They were never. Yeah, it was like afraid to. It was like they only got part of the playbook, and then next week they'll get the rest of it or something. You know what I mean? And I was like,
we don't want to show anything.
Yeah, right. Like, what are we doing? So, and I've heard nothing out of the Detroit camp. Like for player interviews this week about how all I've heard is how we're going to change the thing. We're going to get a little bit more loose, which I think they know too. They held, I don't want to say held back, but they didn't. They looked new. They looked new.
They were taking it easy on Green Bay. Is that what it was? They were
that's what they looked like they were doing, but they were not.
You know what else I haven't heard from anyone on that Detroit sideline? I haven't heard a thank you yet. I haven't heard a thank you from you yet for not telling you not to use the Lions as your survivor.
I did text Raphael on Wednesday.
All week last week. Oh, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid. I'm just going to rip I'm like, you're crazy. They're going to get hammered. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Look, credit where credit's due. That wasn't about what the Lions didn't do. Green Bay mauled them. Green Bay was the better team. They were the better team.
Green Bay was ready for their home opener.
Like, Jordan Love missed some throws, too, early that could have made that game even uglier than it was. Like, Detroit was not the better team.
Well, I don't feel like we missed any throws like that. Like, we just didn't take the shots. We didn't do nothing.
You paid your receiver all that money. I mean, you paid the receiver all that money, and then you didn't even use him. It was like,
not to mention, then you got Aiden Hutchinson, who mentions this in like interviews this week. He's like, I'm not the guy to drop back in the pass coverage the majority of the time. Yeah. He's like, that will change. Right. And like for him to say something, and even all the coaches, they say the right things. They say what you want to hear. Does it happen? I got to hope it does, because if the Lions start out 0-2, it's going to be a long season, folks.
And who do they play next week?
I think like
Baltimore.
Baltimore on Monday night. Yeah.
It's a must win.
So if you don't win, right. I mean, again, this was one of the things.
I'm not throwing out the must win situation yet.
Well,
no, it kind of is, because you're probably Baltimore already gave away a win, and so they play the Ravens this week. I don't think you gave it away. I think the Packers are good. That's the takeaway I had more than anything. Is I think the Packers are good. I think we're going to see that tonight. People are like giving Washington all this credit because they beat up on a Giants team that was impressive in the preseason. Guess what? Detroit Lions, the year they went winless, was undefeated in the preseason. Preseason means absolutely zero. Do not put any, you can maybe take away individual player, like, this guy looked good, that kind of stuff. But as wins and losses, throw that out the window. The Giants were not good the year before, and Russell Wilson is not the answer. I cannot believe they went back with him this week. I thought this is the week. Just tear the Band-Aid off. Eli Manning all over again. Dayball, take him out, put Dart. Jackson Dart looked very good in the preseason. We know what freaking Russell Wilson is.
You just completely contradicted yourself, though. Like, the preseason means absolutely nothing. But Jackson Dart has to play because
I see what you're saying. Individual play.
Individually, I don't mind. I just don't take away wins and losses in the preseason, because like if you look good for 2 quarters with your starters and then you put your backups in and they get drilled, what does that mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't do that.
The thing that most impressed me about Washington last week was their defensive line played fantastic. And I wrote about this in my power rankings this week. I was like, I can't tell if the Giants offensive line is just that bad. And if it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is, and it shouldn't be Jackson Dart. If their offensive line is that bad, or is Washington's front four just that good? Like, the way that they reshuffled that front four after they were so bad, they got embarrassed by Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game. They were so bad against the run. They just made a couple tweaks, bring in a couple new guys like Javon Kinlaw. They looked fantastic. Now I want to see what they do against Green Bay, because talk about Russell Wilson all you want. He was running for his life, and on actual running plays, on designed running plays, the Giants had 15 rushes for 30 yards. So Washington absolutely dominated them at the point of attack. And again, that was a problem for Detroit. Say what you want about Detroit schematically or whatever. Green Bay dominated them at the point of attack on defense. Their defensive line was too much for them. Is that the scheme? Is that the new guys on offensive line? Maybe it's that Green Bay's defensive line is pretty damn good. Like, that's what's going to play out over these next few weeks, but there was nothing fluky about either Washington or Green Bay's wins, because they physically dominated in the trenches.
I won't overreact on Green Bay. I won't say that they're good yet. I don't think the overreaction. I don't think Jordan. I think so, because I don't think Jordan Love. I just don't think he. I think he's a good quarterback.
You don't like Jordan
quarterback. He's not a great quarterback.
I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I'd say I think he's elite.
I don't think he's better than Jared Goff.
Oh, yes. He isn't. He isn't right now, but I would take him. I would take him on my team right now. For the next 4 years, who would you rather have, those two guys? I would take Jordan Love. I don't think it's fair to say that he's better than Jared Goff because of what Jared Goff has accomplished in his career. Jared Goff is a number 1 overall pick. Like, he's won a lot of playoff games. Like, his win-loss record kind of speaks for itself. So you can't say he is better. He has a better resume. But like right now, today, September 11th, 2025, which one of those two guys do you want for the next 4 years? I'm taking Jordan Love, and it's not even particularly close. I think he's special. I think he was great 2 years ago in his first year as a starter. Last year, I think that their problems had more to do with their wide receiver room than with Jordan Love. Number 1, a lot of those guys got hurt. Number 2, a lot of those guys got greedy. Okay, they had that big season. These are a lot of guys, Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs. They want to get paid, Wicks. They want to get paid. They want touches. They don't want to be in this wide receiver room where it's timeshares. He had 12 different receivers last year, and I haven't heard a peep this week anybody saying that they want the ball more, because they went out and drafted 2 new guys in the in April. So basically that's a front office's way of saying, okay, you want more touches, you want to chase a big contract, you're not like part of the team here. Like there's a door. We got two new guys ready to go. So I think there was some drama last year that led to Jordan Love maybe not taking a step forward. And it's just a sophomore slump. He was great his first year, takes a step back second year, goes for the third year. That's a natural progression.
I think he's top 6-7 quarterback in the league right now. I don't think he's put that on the field yet, but I just think that's what I'm projecting this year. I think he has elite arm talent. If he didn't play after Aaron Rodgers, it's kind of, it's like taking over after Dean Smith. It's like, dude, you can go away the Final Four. They're going to be like, well, Dean Smith won how many national championships? Look what he did over. So, you have to do it over time. So we'll see that. But he doesn't have elite receivers. I will say this, Jared Goff has elite receivers. And last year he had the best run game in football.
I think he has elite receiver, singular. Amon-Ra St. Brown is an elite receiver. The end.
You don't.
I don't think Jameson Williams is an elite receiver.
You don't think
he has elite
one of the best
speed, huh?
You don't think Laporte is one of the best tight ends too?
Pretty good.
He's freaking really.
That's like a different group, the tight end group. Than a wide receiver group.
To me, when you could run the ball and play action pass, if you have a great tight end, it is like freaking easy money.
He does, and you didn't see a lot of that last week.
We couldn't run the ball. If they could run the ball, then you can get to the play action pass.
Because they had a top 3 offensive line. It's real easy to be a top quarterback when you're behind that offensive 100%. Line. Talk to Jalen Hurts. I'm not knocking Jalen Hurts. This isn't
right.
Jalen Hurts is awesome. Like I get it, but his job is a hell of a lot easier playing behind that offensive line with that running game.
Yeah.
Like you could put anybody there, and they're going to find some level of success there. So
if you put Jalen Hurts, say in the Bengals, and he had to do what Joe Burrow do, he would be terrible.
Can't do it. But if you put Joe Burrow on Philadelphia,
oh my God,
they probably would. Right? Like, would they lose a
Frankenstein,
game?
Right? Yeah.
What are your thoughts there, Craig, on that Jags Bengals game?
I think Cincinnati took a deep breath because obviously they got a gift. The last few years, the last 4, everything that could go wrong at end of games, missing field goals or field goals to beat you, all went in. So this year they missed an extra point, missed the field goal. Now the Bengals still would have had the ball back to try to win, and I think they were pretty vanilla. I don't know why. That was the one takeaway. I was like, why are we playing so? Like, why aren't we using all these weapons we paid all this money for?
Holding back.
I think you're going to see that.
Like the Lions.
I think I don't know about that, but I think you'll see that this week a little more. And I think the Jaguars just got a gift. Like they played a bad team, I think we're going to see that the Jaguars are pretty similar to what they were last year. They're probably going to be a game below 500 when it comes to the end of the year. And I think the Bengals will take care of business. And if the Bengals start 2-0 after finishing or starting 0-3 or 0-4 or 1-3 the last week, watch out.
Impressed by the Bengals front 4. I thought they played well and held up well against the run in that game. I still do not think that they can cover anybody. I think that they have the worst secondary in the league, and that's going to be a problem. Now, is Trevor Lawrence the guy to exploit that? We'll see. I'm a little higher on Jacksonville than some people. Another thing that really stuck out to me about Cincinnati was, and talk about they didn't use all these receivers, they didn't use all their weapons. They really committed to the run game, right? Yeah. And not just committed to the run game, but they are like all in on that inside trap running game. They did not call a designed run play outside the tackles at all.
They want to be able to move the ball in short yards.
Do you think that was because they were trying to protect their defense? They're like, dude, if we run the ball,
a little bit,
we can.
Complimentary,
last year they were scoring as much as they wanted, but then it was just like you put the defense that was already struggling, tired, and out there they were just.
Right.
Complimentary football. I liked it a lot watching it. Like they stayed with the run. Like Chase Brown was not banging out, 13-yard runs and stuff like that, but they stayed committed to it. And they were like, look, we're not going to attack the boundaries with our running game. We are running straight downhill, straight at these guys. We'll get 2 yards on first down. We'll get 3 yards on second down. And then we'll let Joe Burrow take care of 3rd and 5. And I liked that. I mean, the Browns.
Well, that works against the Browns. I don't know if it works against like good teams.
Well, they have to establish the run, though. I think is the idea, and with that, and to be able to get 2 yards.
How long does Joe Flacco last, though? Seriously, I mean, he
made a hell of a throw on that touchdown pass. I gotta give him that. Like I've ragged on him as much as anybody on this space, but that touchdown pass to Tillman, when you see the angle of behind the quarterback, like. masterclass quarterbacking. But they're just a weird offense. There's just too many disjointed parts there. Like, there were plays to be made against that secondary. There were guys running wide open all over the field, but they just don't feel like a cohesive unit. I think some of that was they probably should have played Flacco a little more during the preseason just to get him on the same page as his receivers. But I'm kind of curious about that game with the Ravens. I mean, a double-digit spread. It is a division rivalry. Remember last year, the Ravens, did they lose to the Raiders or they almost lost to the Raiders?
They lost their first 2 games last year.
Right, as like a 13-point favorite. That Browns defense, for me, that was a question more than Flacco and the quarterbacks and stuff like that. Like, I don't care about that. They're still the freaking Browns. What's the defense going to be? Is it going to be like it was 2 years ago when it was like a top 5 unit that kept them in every game? Or is it going to be like last year when they were like 27th in football and they couldn't stop anybody? They look pretty damn good. So if they bring a pretty damn good defense into Baltimore, catching them in a little bit of a letdown spot, catching double digits in points, Flacco revenge. I don't know. Like, I don't know that this is a walk in the park for the Ravens this week.
I don't like Myles Garrett against the run though as much. Teams that pass. I mean, he is just a game wrecker. You run right at him. Any good pass rusher, that's the key, and that's what Baltimore does. So that's it's a tough matchup for that defense, I think, because if they were just going to drop back and pass, I think Cleveland could actually give them something. But that's Baltimore got away from the run game. Really, what cost them the game at the end? They were cutting up the Bills' line. I mean, they were running for 8-9 yards, like crazy game.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Derrick Henry does, it's the same thing like the Bears game, right? Like if Derrick Henry doesn't fumble, we're not even talking about it. It's not even a big deal. They won by 8. They won at Buffalo. This number is probably 13.5. I think that loss did shave a couple points off of the spread, or maybe not, or maybe this number's 10. And because they lost last week, everyone's like, oh, they're going to take that frustration out.
Take it all
out.
It
is, but you guys know as well as I do, that's not the NFL. You don't get to like pick and choose. Like, they can be as mad as they want about the Buffalo game. Like, Cleveland doesn't care.
They only punted 3 times, right? They punted 3 times, I think, and lost. That's.
I can't believe they punted 3 times.
Yeah,
I mean, it was all right, by the way.
I'll be a big Browns fan this weekend because I will not be taking the Ravens in the Circa contest, because the Survivor contest, because I think that everybody and their brother, that'll be a very popular pick, is the Baltimore Ravens this week. And I'm hoping
number 1 was what last week, Lenny? Number 1 last week was Denver, right, over Tennessee, I think.
They should have lost that. They should have lost that game.
I mean, I'm guessing most people's Survivor picks the first few weeks
was Broncos. The top 3 were the Broncos, Cardinals, and the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And but the top 2 by a majority were Arizona and Broncos. Broncos were 39% of the pool, basically. And
how much is back this week? Did anybody catch that? I know almost all the top.
We only lost like 104 people.
Yeah, I mean, there were not
very many.
There weren't any upsets. Remember, we talked about that on this show and on the football show, that there were 5 big favorites, 5 years in a row. A team that had been an underdog of 6 or more had won in week 1. That didn't happen. Should have happened. Yeah. Philly probably should have lost. Denver probably should have lost.
That could have been really crazy. Shout out to the 5 guys that took the Lions that had bigger nuts than I did. Shout out. I don't care that you just lost $5,000.
Okay,
Steven, tip my hat to you. Well played.
Steven wants to know what we think about NC State and Wake Forest tonight.
Yes.
I actually do have a feeling on this game. You have anything?
Under. I think Wake Forest is going to be like, dude, we cannot make – if it's a track meet, this is one of those if Wake Forest, if it gets, X amount of possessions, they have 0 chance to win. And they know that. So I think this is we're going to try to control the possessions as much as possible. And I don't know how good NC State is still. Like, they beat Eastern Carolina. They kind of struggled in that game a little bit too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But ECU's kind of good.
I actually like NC State in this game. I actually would lay the points with them on the road because I think Wake Forest is bad. I'm with you. I don't know how necessarily good NC State is. This could be one of those teams that I can see running out to like 5-0. They get to number 22 in the top 25 or something like that. And then we bet big against them because we know that they're not really a top 20 team. But that East Carolina team that they beat, remember, that was 17-0. That was a rivalry game. Like that East Carolina team is actually pretty good. Like that's not a walkover team that they beat. Same thing with Virginia last week, man. Like Virginia has looked good 2 weeks in a row. Like Virginia is not going to be like 2-10, 3-9 bad. So they have 2 not bad wins. I'm not going to say they have 2 good wins, but they have 2 not bad wins. I just don't think Wake Forest is any good. They could have and probably should have lost to Kennesaw State in their opening game. Kennesaw State, by the way, is going from the option attack. They fired their coach after last year. So they've run the option at Kennesaw State for like 8 years. Now they're going to like a spread attack. While, that was a 10-9 game with Wake Forest. Wake Forest new head coach Jake Dicker, the guy who came over from Washington State. It's going to take a minute for him to kind of install things there. So I think Wake Forest is just really bad. NC State, I'm not buying them long term. We know who Dave Doran is. It's 7-5. He's 7-5, Dave Doran, and that's probably where they're headed this year.
They remind me of Pitt last year. Remember how Pitt had the hot start?
Yeah,
because it was pretty good scheduling, and then all of a sudden it's like all of a sudden they faced good teams like after the halfway point, and they were like 2-4 or something to finish the year.
Interesting that Mar just brought that up. Thoughts on Pitt -7? Because I was gonna, whether he asked this or not, I was gonna transition to this. I don't trust them laying the 7. They're a much better team than West Virginia. That is a rivalry game. That is a big rivalry game. Morgantown is a tough place to play. And Pittsburgh is one of those teams that is much, much, much better as an underdog, in that underdog role than they are as a favorite. Coach makes some questionable game management decisions. Also, I know West Virginia is getting dragged for losing last week at Ohio.
Oh,
Craig, you can – they should, but, that was Ohio's Super Bowl, right? Like getting.
Although this is real close to me, 40 minutes. There was more West Virginia fans than OU, by the way.
But still, getting a team like that on campus doesn't happen every day. So, again, that was a Super Bowl.
And they should have beat Rutgers too to start the year. They got screwed in the Rutgers game. They did cover, but they should have got the ball back at least with a chance. And the Navarro kid, he's a great dual action quarterback. I don't think they'll be super successful. They might cover this week, but I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State. But I do think he'll show some things with his legs up there at Ohio State this week. But I do think with West Virginia, this is the biggest buy low spot ever. If you like buying low in anything in life, it's like, okay, you can't get any. This would be the buy low spot because you lost to OU. Now you're at home against your rival, and everybody's saying Pitt's going to win. These kids are going to come for it. It's called the backyard brawl for a reason. I mean, this one's going to be super physical, I think.
Right. Big time trap. And again, that loss to Ohio, I don't think is, I wouldn't call it a bad loss. That's not like an embarrassing loss or something like that. So yeah, it's always tough to lay points in a rivalry game, especially with a road favorite.
Real quick, we got to get out of here. So we have not talked baseball at all. But we're going to give you Craig Track's got a baseball play for you. We know that. But real quick, 6:00 Eastern, Thursday night, football release party, Robert Ferringo and friends. He will have a few different handicappers on, I believe. Just tell me if I'm wrong here. Vernon, Griffin, Indian Cowboy, Arun Shiva, and Scott Spreitzer. Yep, boom. Look at me remembering things. Plus Robert Ferringo, 6:00 Eastern. Hold on, Craig Trapp. 6:00 Eastern live show will be Thursday football release party. What do you got, Craig? What do you got?
Someone check on Griffin because I think today's the day he should go all in on his White Sox.
Oh, stop.
Okay, go on.
I like Shane Smith.
Continue.
I like Shane Smith. It's early game today. This Rays team, they battled back. I give them a lot of credit. I kind of buried them. They battled back. They're 1 game below 500, but that one point there, I think we're 6 games below 500. So to come back and do what they did, but I kind of think today is a very good spot for the White Sox, especially I would probably start with the first 5 innings. I'll do a Lenny. First 5 innings, full game, no run first inning. Like, what else do you need? I'll do I do like them first 5 innings and in the full game.
First 3, first 5.
8-2. White Sox 8-2 in their last 10 games, showing that they are not giving up on the season. I have a 7-unit baseball play, so I ain't giving you nothing. Use the free 60 below and go get my play. I also have a 7-unit daily prop play in the Thursday night game. What are you
Hey,
giggling about?
Hey, Robert, this is one that you know what's going to happen. This is like the Bengals back when they had Achilles Smith. It's like they would start like 0-9, and then they go like 7-2 to finish the year or whatever. And every Bengals fan, so every White Sox fan is going to be the same thing. Next year we're going to go
momentum.
Next year's our year.
Momentum, right? That's
It's
what
like
the
the
Carolina
Celtics.
Panthers.
It worked for the Tigers last
Everybody
year.
talking about the Panthers said that going into this year. I'm like, what are you talking about? They suck.
Yeah,
Look at
that's how
last
you
year for
sell.
the Tigers.
That's how you
Make
sell
the
tickets.
wild card playoff this year. They're about to be the number 1 seed in the American League.
Hopium, dude. Get them hooked on hopium.
It's marketing. You're like, dude, we just didn't play the first 5 months of the season. We would have been in the playoffs. Like, well,
Right.
Look at all
let's
these
play
young
over.
kids we have. Look at all the talent in our farm
Look at
system.
the
You want to get
minor
in on the
leagues.
ground floor on this thing, right?
Don't
parlay.
forget free
Like the
$60
third-
account. New
Listen,
customer.
that's like the third guy in the comment section that I've seen talking about parlays. Don't parlay. That's amateur hour stuff. Okay, we are professionals talking professional stuff. I know we don't look at. I know we don't always see it, but like, no joke. Like, don't parlay, man. That's baby stuff. Real baby
Listen,
stuff.
I'm
Take
3-0
your money
on
and
my
bet it
teasers
wisely.
in NFL Week 1. Links in the description for the members only if you want to be a member. Level 1, 2, 3, whatever you want in there. It is what it is. Don't forget live football show tonight.
All right, I gotta go
tonight.
make some picks. I gotta go make some football
Yes.
picks for people.
And Stop Geo, I'll have a teaser in level 1 for you for tonight. Good luck unless you're against us. We'll see you tonight.